Hey, church family. I want to take just a few moments and share with you two exciting updates in the life of our church, both of which I believe are moments where God is clearly leading us forward. First, let's talk about something we recently celebrated together. This past Sunday, July 13th, our church unanimously voted to move forward with the building project. This is a big step, not just in construction, but in mission. This new space will give us a much more welcoming environment before and after worship. It'll be a place where people can gather and can connect and can greet guests in a way that feels warm and open. We're also making room for things like a nursing mother's area, a family restroom, and significantly increasing the men's and women's restroom sizes. It's going to look great from the outside too, showing people in our community that something is happening here, that our church is growing, and that we are making room for more people to encounter Jesus. Now, this project is a step of both faith and action. We believe that God is opening this door, but we also know that we need to move forward wisely and sacrificially. Thanks to the sale of the North Campus in 2023 and through interest and unspent offerings, we currently have $2.3 million in hand to start this $3.2 million project. That leaves about $900,000 we still need to raise. In coming weeks, you'll hear more from our construction and stewardship teams and from me about how we can come together and make this happen without impacting our ongoing ministry budgets. Our goal is to minimize or eliminate borrowing entirely. We expect to break ground in mid-August, and Lord willing, we'll see this completed in about 9 months. Now for the second thing I want to talk to you about is a conversation that's deeply connected to our current sermon series, When God Changes Your Name. So far, we've looked at how God changed the name of Jacob to Israel and Abrams to Abraham. And this coming Sunday, we'll talk about how Simon became Peter, and a name that reflected his calling into something greater. On July 6th, I shared with you all during my sermon. I said every pastor of First Southern since 1997 has wanted to see the church's name change. I believe God is giving our church a new name, not to erase our past, but to step more fully into our future. Now, to be clear, this is not about abandoning who we are. This is about moving forward intentionally, removing barriers that might keep someone from experiencing the message and the mission of Jesus. There are a few reasons we're having this conversation. The first is to broaden our reach in the community. Secondly, we want to reflect our mission rather than just our tradition. And thirdly, we want to remove confusion or cultural misunderstandings that come with certain words in our church's name. What some of you may not know is that our church hasn't always been called First Southern Baptist Church of Bryant. We've had two other names before. This would simply be a next step in that journey. Back in February, I invited 44 people from all across our church to be part of what we called the Perception Development Team. This team included at least 2 people from every life group, everyone from high schoolers to senior adults. And I intentionally invited people who I knew would love the idea, people who had never thought of the idea, and yes, even those I expected would push back. Over 3 meetings, we talked openly and honestly about 2 key things: how the phrase Southern Baptist might be perceived by those in our community, and how this conversation is really an evangelism strategy, a way to open new doors for the gospel without changing anything about what we believe. So here's what's next. On Sunday, July 20th at 5 p.m. in the sanctuary, we're going to host a town hall meeting. And this is a chance for you to hear more, ask questions, and to become part of this conversation. I truly believe that God is leading us into something new. Not to forget our past, but to fully embrace our future. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a church that's open to following God wherever He leads us. I love you all in an extremely deep way. And I can't wait to see what God has lying ahead for us as we follow obediently.